Welcome to this explainer. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the sheer, chaotic speed of modern life, you are absolutely not alone. Between the endless notifications, demanding careers, and just that constant, heavy pressure to achieve, finding a genuine sense of purpose can kind of feel like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Today, we're exploring Chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita. It's an ancient text, but it holds surprisingly modern psychological insights into finding meaning and real inner peace amidst all this noise.
So, do you ever feel like a puppet at the mercy of the world? Because, let's be honest, we've all been there. We so often feel like we're just being bounced around by circumstances out of our control. The economy, our bosses, the algorithm. It's a deeply modern existential stress, right? But the text we're looking at today argues that you literally do not have to live as a plaything of the world. There's a profound, highly practical way to cut those strings.
Now, the context of this wisdom is just fascinating. It wasn't delivered to some monk meditating peacefully in a quiet cave somewhere. It was actually spoken to a confused, deeply depressed warrior named Arjuna, who is standing right in the middle of a chaotic, terrifying battlefield. His emotional paralysis mirrors our own modern burnout perfectly. He didn't need abstract philosophy. He needed an immediate, practical lifeline. And that's exactly what Chapter 9 provides.
Okay, let's dive right into this with Section 1, The Ultimate Royal Secret.
The text uses two specific Sanskrit terms here, Raja Vidya, meaning the king of knowledge, and Raja Guhya, the royal secret. Now you might be wondering, why is it royal or secret? Well, it's not because it's locked away in some vault for the elite. It reigns supreme because it's a direct, practical toolkit for absolutely everyone. It's a secret only because the human ego usually just overlooks it, always searching for complicated solutions when the most powerful answer is actually incredibly simple and accessible.
Moving right along to Section 2, Decoding the Cosmic Paradox.
So, to understand this, there are two major philosophical viewpoints to consider. First, you have the dualistic view, or Dvaita, where the creator and the creation are seen as completely separate entities. And then there's the non-dualistic view, Advaita, which argues that everything in existence is an expansion of the divine. Understanding this completely shifts our relationship with the world around us. It means the mundane, everyday world isn't something to escape from. It's something we need to see clearly.
To make this abstract idea crystal clear, let's use a couple of brilliant analogies from the sources. Think of an iceberg. Ice is entirely permeated by water. It's literally made of water. Yet water itself isn't confined to just being an iceberg. Or think of a gold ring and a gold coin. They have entirely different shapes and functions, but fundamentally, they're both just gold. The text argues that the divine pervades the entire universe in this exact same way. It's intimately present in everything, yet entirely free from it.
Or, imagine you're walking at night and you see a shadowy figure. Your heart starts pounding, your anxiety spikes, you're convinced it's a ghost. But when the sun rises, you realize it was literally just a concrete pillar all along. The fear was incredibly real to your nervous system, but the cause was a total illusion. The Gita tells us that our worldly, paralyzing anxieties are often just like this. They're illusions born in the dark that block out the true reality of inner peace that's already sitting right there.
Let's zoom in a bit from the macro to the micro in Section 3, Intention over Grand Rituals.
Verse 926 is, without a doubt, an absolute game-changer. It lists 4 unbelievably simple offerings. Patram, a leaf. Pushpam, a flower. Phalam, a fruit. And toyam, water. This is a radical democratization of spirituality. You don't need immense wealth. You don't need complex, expensive rituals. And you certainly don't need a perfect track record. The divine accepts the absolute simplest items that are freely available to anyone on earth.
If one offers me, with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. The divine completely disregards material wealth or grand religious displays. What's actually being evaluated isn't the object in your hand, but the state of your heart. It's all about pure intention. In our modern world, which is so obsessed with metrics, net worth, and outward appearances, this is a profound reminder that the quality of our attention and love is the only true currency that actually matters.
Which leads us beautifully into Section 4, Turning Work into Worship.
The text introduces this concept of arpanam, suggesting that whatever you do or eat should be an offering. Now, in modern psychology, this is known as a massive cognitive reframing. By just shifting our internal dedication, studies in clinical mindfulness show we actually alter our brain chemistry.
We can turn mundane tasks like coding software, answering a mountain of emails, or just cooking dinner into flow states. Your everyday work literally becomes worship.
So what happens when we live with that dedicated focus? Well, we encounter verse 9.22 and the incredible promise of yoga kshema. Yoga means acquiring what you lack, and kshema means protecting what you already have. This is the ultimate psychological safety net, folks. It completely neutralizes our two great modern anxieties, the exhausting hustle to gain more success and the paralyzing fear of losing what we've already built. When you operate with pure intention, the universe promises to personally secure your inner foundation.
And that brings us to our final core concept, Section 5, the psychology of transformation. And this brilliantly illustrates the direct bridge between these ancient teachings and modern neuroscience. The ancient practice of arpanam, offering your work, is the exact mechanism behind modern clinical mindfulness. And bhakti, or pure devotion, aligns perfectly with what we know today about neuroplasticity. Focused intention and heart-led action actively rewire our neural pathways. What we consistently focus on shapes our very identity, which basically means this ancient text was outlining a masterclass in cognitive behavioral transformation thousands of years ago.
And hey, if you ever feel like you've made way too many mistakes, this text offers the ultimate redemption guarantee. It boldly states that your past never limits your present transformation. In modern terms, this is the ultimate validation of the growth mindset. The very moment you make a sincere, focused resolve to change your trajectory, you are instantly redefined, not by your past errors, but by your present intention.
So let's bring it all together. Here's your modern toolkit for a meaningful life, straight from this royal secret. First, intention always matters more than the scale of your achievements. Second, don't separate your life. Your daily work is your actual spiritual practice. Third, trust that when you act with a pure heart, you gain ultimate inner security. And finally, your past never, ever disqualifies you from stepping into a purposeful life right now.
You really don't need to completely change your job, move to a mountain, or wait for some perfect moment to arrive. You just need to shift your focus today. So, what leaf or flower of pure intention will you offer to the world right now? It's a simple choice, but as we've seen, it's a choice that changes absolutely everything. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.